from what I understand, there is something pissing you off right now. And what would that be?
Oh my gosh, Kyle, this is perhaps the worst of the absolute worst. Like, I could not be more pissed off about an issue than I am about this. You know, I have a business partner. I do some state and federal lobbying, a lot of consulting work. My business partner just happens to be a Democrat. We've had him on the podcast before, Joe McClosey. Yep. Joe texts me from the DNC. He went to the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, and he was gloating the whole time that he's there, right? Like, first thing, oh my God, I've been partying so much with all these celebrities and stuff. I'm so tired. I can't even go to the John Legend concert tonight. Like, you got to be kidding me. Like, John Legend, come on. Republican National Convention, we're lucky if we can get like a Lee Greenwood cover band in the hotel lobby or something, right?
Yeah, and Hulk Hogan.
It's ridiculous.
They did have Hulk Hogan for just the general celebrity pool.
Okay, Kyle, I'm just going to say Hulk Hogan, John Legend, and all these other massive celebrities that, you know, I don't even know because I'm an old white guy, right?
Yep.
But Hulk Hogan versus that, yeah, I'm not sure that's an equal trade. But here's where it really gets disparate. I mean, this is just ridiculous beyond belief. Now, as you know or might not know, I am a gigantic Cubs fan. Have been my whole life. You go to my Facebook profile, it is a picture of me, 3 years old, wearing a Cubs hat. I mean, this is how deep-seated and rooted my fandom is for the Chicago Cubs. And this is where it just did it for me completely. You know, again, in Chicago, my business partner, Joe McClosey, who I'm barely talking to right now because of this, texted me pictures of him on the field at Wrigley Field, where the Chicago Cubs play baseball, taking batting practice. I'm an old college baseball player. Like, wow. I would freaking sell one of my children to take batting practice on Wrigley Field. I would have become, I don't even like Kamala Harris. Think her policy implications would be disastrous for the United States of America. I would have been Republicans for Kamala to get a chance to take batting practice on Wrigley Field. So here's what I'm pissed off about. Okay. Republicans, effing figure it out. Get some good shit for us to do at the Republican National Convention. We don't want Hulk Hogan and Chuck Norris cool people. But couldn't we do a little bit more than Kid Rock and Lee Greenwood? Come on. I'm proud to be an American. That's been around for freaking 100 years, right? That's older than the national anthem, it seems like, at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Republican Party is hurting in a lot of ways, and a celebrity
none bigger than that.
Yeah, a celebrity comparison kind of shines a light on it.
Well, and I mean, again, the celebrity stuff, I could sort of almost like, all right, I'm starting to get annoyed by this, but then the Wrigley Field thing just freaking set me over the edge. I mean, how does that happen? Right? I mean, come on. Batting practice on Wrigley Field.
You can imagine how many people, what did the Cubs have to go on like a 2-week road trip? I mean, I can't imagine how many people probably wanted to do that out of the thousands at the convention. So I'm sure the stadium was tied up for a while.
Yeah, I don't know how he scored tickets to that, but he was like there for like 4 hours too, right? Shagging fly balls in the outfield, taking batting practice. I just, like, there are few bucket list items in life that I would want to experience more than getting to take batting practice on Wrigley Field. And my business partner, who doesn't even like baseball, is doing it, and I'm not. And Kyle, That's what I'm pissed off about.
Okay, that's good. I think that's everything for this week. Did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about? We kind of had a little bit of a shorter episode and
Yeah.
had to
So
see different things.
just one other thing, another thing that was kind of annoying me, actually made me think about you just a little bit. I was driving I've been in Denver all week, right?
Yeah.
Having to drive up to Denver. Sure enough, man, I'm in the left lane. And my God, this guy in front of me is it's almost like he's teasing me. He's going so slow. And I thought to myself, I know this is an issue that triggers Kyle just a little bit, but what if I had like a 2x10 on the front of my car and I could just, as a bumper and maybe
Yep.
just politely nudge these people out of the way?
Now, that's a ballot issue I could get behind and try and get on next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know this is something that's important.
Allowing
Makes
2x10s would be.
Yeah. Listen, I'm thinking, as we're driving along, I'm like, hey, I mean, as you've pointed out correctly, it's illegal, right? To
Yeah.
just drive in the left lane. And so I'm thinking to myself, how can we create some left lane border security and kick the illegals out? I don't know, but I'd really like to figure out how to do that.
Well, it's annoying because I know other states actually enforce it. Kansas, where you have like 1/10 of the number of cars that we have in Colorado, Kansas enforces that law on their interstates. It's not that difficult. So at some point, Colorado needs to start enforcing this. And next week, I've got to drive through Denver twice next week. So I'm already kind of dreading it a little bit, but.
So what you're saying is our Democratic governor refuses to enforce the left lane border. That's what I'm hearing. And he's allowing illegals to drive all over our left lane as a result of whatever, him being in office and appreciating illegals driving in the left lane. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Sorta. You might have added a little bit to it, but in general, that's pretty much the issue. So, next week, one of my trips next week, I'm going to have a passenger, so I'll have to behave. But the other trip, I don't. So who knows?
Maybe you should take a Valium before each of them.
True.
Might be helpful.
Yeah. Well,
or just put our podcast on, listen to it. That'll zen you out, because I know you've gone to YouTube and followed us and liked our podcast, as other people could do if they want to, be entertained as they're driving in the left lane, getting pissed off by people.
Well,
put Kyle and Mark on. What else could make your day better, right?
Yeah, the podcast episode while you're driving. Don't watch the YouTube episode while you're driving. That'll make it even worse for people on the interstate.
Put it up on the dashboard there and watch it while you're driving along. That'd be all right.
Yeah, because I love the melodious sound of my own voice so much that, that's how I relax, is by listening to our podcast while I'm driving.
While you're driving. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But that's what, certainly that's what everybody else should do.
Yeah. So,
because they're going to walk away from it going, wow, I'm educated. I've been entertained. My stress level's gone down. I'm feeling better about who I am. I'm not pissed off by this guy that's in the left lane in front of me.
It'll take a lot for that to happen. And if I'm on next week's episode, it means I didn't get thrown in jail while I was traveling next week. But again, hopefully we're going to have the guests from issue 310 about changing the way Colorado conducts its elections. Looking forward to that. And so this is Kyle Blakely and Mark Waller again for We Have Issues, and we will see you next week. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.